Hi there folks, and welcome back to Christmas in July. I hope you're enjoying the series just as much as I am putting it together, but it just doesn't seem right sat in the, the craft room in the middle of summer doing Christmas things, but hey ho. There we go. So anyway, I'm always one looking out for Christmas presents throughout the year, just to take the financial pressure off at the end of the year. And this time I've come across these in one of the local shops. Now it's a packet full of makeup brushes, and they were a really good price, and I thought, I know who would like these. A friend of mine has two teenage daughters and they're both very much into their makeup, so I thought I would get them. However, presenting them in a little carrier bag like that, it's not, doesn't look good. So I was thinking, what can I do? Now, one of the boxes I often do is this one, and I love it because it's a no fold, it's a no glue, no cut box. Once you've got your size, that's it, all done. And I always add a little belly band, because although you don't need to add the belly band to hold it close, I do think for a present it just finishes it off. So if I just slide the belly band off, and the box will say shut all by itself. But as you can see, it's a great little one to have for emergencies, because you can make them up and then just have, let me take those out, just have those on the side ready to go in an emergency. And then once you've filled up with whatever you want in the middle, you then just fold it up and it will just hold itself. So let's get on with showing how to do it. Now, what I'll do is I'll show you how to make the box and how to make the belly bands, but decorating it you do yourself, because it'll be what resources, what materials, or how you want to decorate it, rather than me saying you have to do or have X, Y, and Z. So what I started with was some nice pattern paper. This is A4 size in the UK. So, and what I've done is I've cut it down to 8 inches by 11 inches. So that's around about 20 centimetres by 28 centimetres. And I'll put all the measurements in the box below as usual. So I've cut my A4 sheet down. This is waste, so I'll pop that into one side. This is what I'm going to use for my belly band. And the only other thing you need is bits to decorate your box or your belly band, plus 2 other pieces of card, which are 1 3/4 inches. So those don't have to match, that you can have some odd scraps, entirely up to you what you want to do. So let's put those to one side. I'm going to bring in my hoogie board. Like I say, I like using my hoogie board when it's dead easy, straightforward, 1 inch or 1.5 inch measurements, because then you don't have to worry too much. So on the long side, I'm going to score at 2 inches, so straight down. This is really thick card, this is. In fact, let me just show you, it's this, the designer A4 designer paper. Found it at the market for £1 for 8 sheets, and considering the finish on it and how thick it is, I think it was quite a good buy. So 2 inches and then across to 9 inches, and just make sure you're well scored in that. And I love it because I'm not slipping out into any of the other wells to do it. Then turn it to the short side, and then you're going to, very easy again, all the odd numbers. So 1 inch all the way down, 3 inches. Do you remember odd and even when you were at school? These are all the odd ones. See, they said it would come in handy. There we go, 3 inch, 5 inch and 7 inch all the way down. And I just do mine twice just to make sure, because it is such a thick card. Once you've done that, I'm going to pop my hoogie board to one side. Now I need my ruler. Now This is where I always have to stop and think. Now with the box, what you need to do is score from that corner to the middle corner. So I'm going to find where these two join. So I'm going down to the first score line and where it meets the first score line going across, and I'm going to put my scoring tool there, and then I'm going to come up to this top line here, so where the score ends. So I've got my score going all the way across where it ends here. So I'm going to pop mine back into that junction again. It might be easier to do it on that side if you can see. So find that junction. Pattern sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but the pattern sometimes distracts me when I'm trying to find my score lines. So score that really, really well. And then you're going to do exactly the same at the bottom. So you're going to find the first one down, first score line down, follow that to the first score line across. I'm going to put my ruler there. Then I'm going to bring my score tool up to the top of that second score line, and I'm going to score on the diagonal across like that. It's one of those awkward ones, but we'll see. You'll see how it works in a minute. Flip it round, do the same again. First score line across, first score line down, go to the top of the second score line, right on that edge. Now I have, when doing this box, scored the wrong way, and it just doesn't work. It completely blew my mind. So I ended up making a big mistake and not being able to work out why or how it wasn't working. So I found this is the easiest one. Go to your first score line, follow it till it meets the first score line, interchange, put my scoring tool on there, go to the second one, and then double, really reinforce that. I probably could do with being on something a little padded just to help a little bit. So that's all my score lines done. I'm going to take my scoring tool and follow, score and fold all of the straight ones, the horizontal and vertical ones. See, I was listening in maths class. Horizontal and vertical. So there we go. Again, this paper is so thick that it does sort of fight me a little bit as I'm trying to fold it. So but I just really like this paper for using for things like the boxes. So there we go. You can use ordinary plain card and then cut some patterned paper and then stick it on if you find that easier, or if you haven't got any patterned paper you want to use, or you can cut down scrapbook paper. Entirely up to you. Now this is as tricky as we're going to get. So what we need to do is fold on that diagonal there. And the easiest way to do that is to fold across. So I've folded down at the first line, and then what I'm going to do is this score line here, I'm going to bring that up and I'm going to line it up with this score line here. The easiest way I've found is to put my finger right in that corner there, so where that fold and that's a score line is, I'm going to pop my finger there to hold that because I want my corners to be sharp. And then I'm going to, let's do it the other way, and then I'm going to bring this in, and as I'm doing it I'm bending the paper, and I'm going to bring it so that it then sits level, bring it round, level with the card there, so we have a nice join. Then bring it back, I'm going to bring my score tool in and I'm going to flatten that down on that score line and reinforce that as much as I can. It's not an easy fold to do, but once you get it, you kind of get it. It's one of those. So again, I'm going to put my finger at that score line so that I can get a nice sharp crease. Let's put it that way. I'm going to bring this line here, this score line there, and I'm going to get it to meet this score line here. So bringing it up, folding that card, nudging it, encouraging it to fold along that score line that we made earlier. Bring that down, line it up very carefully, and then bring my score tool in and just reinforce on that line, and then we get that. I'm going to open that out and fold it back the other way. I find it easier to fold inside first and then fold outside the box. For me, it just works that way. If doing it that way is going to be easier for you guys, then do it that way. So what you would do is put your finger here where that line, the first score mark, meets that first score line, and then you would bring this score line up to meet that one. So you would encourage it that way, fold it, and then bring your bone folder in. If that's easier for you guys, do it that way. This is just the way that I find easier for me. So folding it in first, and I'm sorry, but going all the way around the houses, aren't I? But we'll get there. So my score line starts in this corner, so I've got my score line across that I've just reinforced. I've got the score line on the diagonal that I made, so I'm going to hold that corner. I'm going to bring this score line to meet there. I'm going to meet it up. I'm going to bring my scoring tool in, and I'm going to reinforce that score line there. Just fold it really in, and then fold it back the other way. And I'm going to do the same on this one. Fold it over, and all three lines interchange there. So that's where I'm going to put my finger on that corner. Bring this up and across, encouraging the paper to go along that fold that we made earlier. Finger fold it, and then come in with the bone tool. Fold it out, and then fold the other way, which should be easy by now. And there we have our box. So if I bring it up, reinforce some of those folds, bring that up. Now you're going to just, let me show you. So this will come up, you'll fold that in, so you'll fold along that corner, that diagonal line. You'll fold it up to the centre, then you'll bring this side up and do exactly the same and tuck one in front of the other like that. So that's how you fold that box, exactly the same down that end. It will want to go, if you've reinforced those lines really well, it will want to go. The reason it pops open like that is because I need to reinforce these bottom lines a little bit more. The base of the box just needs a little bit more encouragement, especially when it's such a thick card as I've got here. So there we go. See, it'll stay. Now I'm going to bring in that thin strip of card that I had before. Now, because mine's a directional, I'm going to fold it directional as well. So my box says Merry Christmas, so I'm going to make sure that my papers say Merry Christmas the same. And then I'm just going to take my card. So this is the back, because this is where my fold is. So I'm going to take the back and I'm going to pop it about halfway down the back of that piece of card. Yeah, it doesn't matter where. And then I'm going to carefully fold it across the top. And I'm just going to pinch that a little bit. Take it off, reinforce that, pop it back on. And then I'm going to fold that one down, and I'm going to finger pinch that as well. Don't need to use my scoring tool on this because we don't need it to lie flat. Then I'm just going to follow it all the way around. So I've come to the bottom of the box. I'm going to do exactly the same and across the top. And then it should just automatically meet at the top there. Like that. And you can do it with contrasting papers if you wanted. Perhaps that's what I should have done. Maybe a piece of red would make it easier for you. Let me just, that's not long enough. Have I got any strips of card somewhere? Let me just see, this is when I cut and did it the wrong way. So if I just cut that down like that, let's see if we can make it the same length. This is just for demonstration, just to show you. So let's cut that off there. And so this is just white card that hopefully you'll be able to see. So pop it on the back of the box. Hold on, there's my opening. So I'm going to shift it round, pop it at the back of the box, fold it down so that we've got a bit of a pinch, then fold it over, and that should just sit nicely on the top like that. Then at the bottom of the box I'm going to do exactly the same, do a bit of a pinch there and a pinch there, and then we get it to join up there. It's not measuring right because I've just very quickly cut that. So I'm going to take that off and then just reinforce those folds. So there's that one and that one. And then, oops, take it, put it back on the box. So remembering to put the end at the back, hook it round, and then I'm going to get my glue and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at the bottom of that. So at the bottom of that piece there, just a little bit of glue, and then the top of this one here, a little bit of glue at the top, and that way it'll grab at the bottom and the top. Fold it over and hold it closed until you feel it grab, and there you have your belly band. And let me bring, no, that was rubbish. So let me bring back in my old, so yes, now these two little pieces of card that we cut, open that up after you take your belly band, open it up, and they just glue in there like that. So just take a little bit of glue, don't need to go mad. Almost forgot about these, didn't I? Pop them. So you've got your thin, you've got your diagonals, then you've got this square right in the middle, and that's where they're going to go. Pop that on. And then I'll do the same here. So these are both 1 3/4 inches. As I say, I'll get all the measurements and pop them in the box below, and then that goes on there like that. And what happens is when you now close that box over, you have that nice pattern design in there rather than just the white paper that you had before. So let's fold that one in as well. So both sides done, and our pattern paper in there. Let me bring the belly band in, and I'll just very quickly pop it on, make sure I've got it the right way round, fold it the right way as well. So pop that on. I've already finger creased all of that, and now I'm going to glue it. So a little bit at the top of this one. So had I thought about it, I might have put a red belly band on here, so that you could, just so you could see it a bit easier. Glue that down. The problem with putting patterned on patterned. And then, so once that's grabbed, which it hasn't quite yet, I then took some ribbon and put some double-sided tape on the back of it. That went around on there like that, and then I took some of my die cut poinsettia and glued it onto the front like that. But as I say, you'll probably use different decoration on the front of yours. But yeah, I think they look quite snazzy. I really am pleased with how these work out. But I have, as I said before, I have used them quite a lot in the past to decorate, to give gifts, etc., because they are just a simple, quick little box that's so easy, and very, very easy and fun to make, especially once you've decorated them all up. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like my thin Christmas boxes, and yeah, join me in the next video. Speak to you all later. Bye for now.